All right, everybody, welcome into the High Noon broadcast stream, I should say. This is the stream. Hold on. Wait a second. Got a little bit of thing here. I'm a little hot there. A little hot mics. Hot mics. All right. I apologize for slight delay today. 3 minutes early. 3 minutes late, I should say. Welcome to the High Noon stream here on the Radio Misfits podcast and streaming network. We do this show every day at noon, Monday through Friday, for a couple of hours. However long it takes to get through all the things that are going on in the world. My setup is a little bit janky because I had to move some stuff around because the boy is here. And, you know, we don't have all that much room around here, so I have to take care of the equipment. We do this show at noon. I already said that, Monday through Friday. Then we also do something we call Pillow Talk. That usually comes on around 9 p.m., all-time Central Standard Time. And Pillow Talk is a little bit looser, a little bit more, maybe we got topics, maybe we're just talking. It's typically me with a couple of other people, and more of a hang, if you will. This, however, I like to call, this is a utilitarian product. This is an offering designed to make sure that you are all caught up on all the things that are trending, all the things that are happening, hot topics, current events, whatever the hell it is, water cooler stuff, anything that people might engage you with throughout this day. I'm going to give you the rundown so that you're not going to feel left behind. You're going to go, hey, yeah, actually, I have heard about that because this guy that streams at noon every day, he talks about all the things that people are talking about. That's the whole point of this show. So let's see here. As I've been saying, we've got a couple of programming notes. This is a bad week. Last week was a bad week, although last week was not a bad week compared to this week. Last week was slow. You know, everything is Christmas oriented. Everything is about, frivolous stuff. And then this week, the week between Christmas and New Year, there ain't nothing happening. There is nothing of worth going on in the world. There is nothing important that people are talking about. If last week was frivolous, this week is absurdly frivolous. This week is even further down that road than last week was. So, yesterday, I should say, I think I gave you an hour and a half. We might be able to get to that today, but there's just not a whole lot of stuff going on. So let's get started. Let's get into all the things that make today so great. Today is December the 29th, year of our Lord 2021. It is the 363rd day of the year, which means, drum roll, 2 days remaining until the new year. Hold on, Mr. Popular. That's my kid. My kid is just endlessly sharing pictures of what he and the dog are doing right now. And you know what he and the dog are doing right now in this cold... She took the blanket off the table. Oh, she's cold. All right, I'm sorry. The kid knows that I'm on the air. He knows that I'm streaming. He just, he's just going to try and distract me. So the last couple of days I've been telling you how it's been unseasonably warm here. It's been in the 80s. It's been sunny. It's just not at all December-like weather. Certainly not weather for the week between Christmas and New Year. It's just ridiculous. What are we in Florida? Come on, this is North Texas. We're supposed to get a little bit of a taste of winter. That's what we were promised. A taste of winter. Not full-blown Midwest or East Coast winter, but a taste of winter. And we haven't gotten that. But today is just a garbage day, boy. It is rainy. It is gray. The temperature is neither hot nor cold. It's like 65 currently. It's gray and it's just So the kid is over in the other room, the big house. Those of you who listen to the show, you know that I do this show live from a guest house located in the 1%er compound in beautiful Highland Park, Texas. The big house is right across the way there. The kid is over there with the dog playing in the game room, and I'm over here in the guest house studios doing the show. So if he continues to text me during the show, then he's just being a little ass because he knows exactly what I'm doing. Speaking of weather, and I don't like to get into weather. Who cares about weather, right? Look at this. Can I just point something out to you? I am very tuned into the weather because of my ongoing battle with my allergies. Oh, excuse me. I'm not allowed to call it allergies because that irritates E, my sometimes sidekick. Okay, whatever. My sinus issues that go crazy with drastic changes in the weather. I'm very tuned into the weather these last couple of weeks, 'cause I've been having incredibly bad sinus issues. But check this out. Okay, so today, the daily high is supposed to be 75 degrees. 75 degrees today on Wednesday is the high. The low is 51. But look at this. Can I draw your attention to Saturday, which is the first day of the new year? Saturday's high is going to be 71 degrees and it's going to be sunny. New Year is going to roll in beautifully. It's going to be 71 degrees and sunny here in North Texas. With a low of 24, it's going to go from 71 degrees to 24 degrees during the day Saturday. And that's why my sinuses are insane. They are completely out of whack. And it doesn't seem like it's going to get better. I'm just looking at the weather. It's going to go back up. It's going to be 80. It's going to be 80 on Friday. And then Saturday, it's going to be 70. And then with a low of 24. So buckle up, Buttercup. We've got a rough couple of days coming, especially if you're a slave to your sinus problems like me. All right. So let's get to the moment of joy. We'll do the moment of joy just because I like this one. Well, not just because I like this one, because we do a moment of joy every day. I don't even know if this is joy. I just find it interesting. So I'll give you the setup on this. Somebody walks into a KFC, it looks like, and this person is well, obviously he's in a homosexual relationship, which is fine. Ain't nobody saying nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. So a dude is in a homosexual relationship. I hear those are a thing now. He's in a homosexual relationship, and he walks back into the KFC and he challenges the girl at the KFC desk because apparently counter. Uh-oh, here we go with hiccups. Oh my gosh. Now we're going to have to deal with my oncoming hiccups for the next 90 seconds. Remember, I'm a master at battling hiccups. I can get over hiccups. The only two things that I learned in broadcast journalism school back in college that actually stayed with me, things that I actually use. How not to swear on the air. That was like one of the first things. which is a little trick. I changed the initial trick to match my own life. But how not to swear, I learned that in broadcast school, and I still use that. And the other's how to overcome hiccups, how to beat hiccups if you're suddenly struck with hiccups while on the air. I learned that technique as well. And it served me well. And those are the only two things from broadcast school that still are relevant in any way, shape, or form to the world of broadcasting in 2021. Broadcasting, streaming, whatever. Everything that I learned is out the window except for how not to swear on the air, which I can do now because it's a strict, and hiccups. And here we go. Okay. Oh boy. You know what's going to happen now? I'm not going to be able to defeat my hiccups because I just said that I learned how to defeat my hiccups. This is what the human brain does to you. The human brain, anytime you say you've got something down, your brain's going to go, oh, no, you don't. So Jennifer wants to know what the trick for getting rid of hiccups are. Well, it's a little bit more difficult when you're doing talk. But for radio, the number one trick for getting rid of hiccups is play a long song. Just play a long song and maybe play a second long song. But see, hiccups are a disruption in breathing. It means that there is something in your natural way of breathing that has thrown the rhythm off. So I don't know how to describe it to you other than just say, Jennifer, it takes concentration and a focus on a regulated breathing pattern. And if you can do that and not talk, also don't talk because talking disrupts your breathing pattern, especially the way I talk, which is why I get hiccups. Okay, folks, we'll get to it. We'll get through it. And I feel like we're good. All right. I feel like the hiccups are gone now. So let's get back to our moment of joy. So, gay guy. I feel like they're coming again. Gay guy walks into a KFC. He's got a problem with the counter girl. Counter girl apparently slipped his boyfriend her phone number, and he ain't having it. But he messed with the wrong girls at the wrong KFC, boy. I'll tell you. This one is called, there's a title on this. Danita, it's Christmas. Okay, that's what this one's called. So let's see how this plays out. Your moment of joy. Don't even know if this is joy. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, how you doing? My boyfriend was here earlier. He said that you wrote your phone number or his receipt, and I'm just here to check you and say, like, control your hormones or whatever's going on. I know he fine. His name Antoine. You work with her?
Okay, wait. First of all, can we just freeze frame on this girl's face? She's being confronted by the fact that she apparently slipped her phone number to this man's boyfriend. And the man's boyfriend, he's now here, and he ain't having none of it. And just look at her face. She just does not know how to react to this. What? She's worried. Is she going to lose her job? Does she go ape crap on this guy? What's the next move? But here comes Danita. Danita is her friend. Danita seems to be the manager at the KFC. And Danita has just said in her mousy, quiet little way, let me explain something to you. That's what Danita says. So listen up. Let me explain something to you. And it goes from there.
His name Antoine. You work with her?
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
I don't care about you nor Antoine. When you walk in here, say good morning like we said to you.
Oh, okay. Good morning.
I don't care about you. I don't care about Antoine. When you walk in here, you say good morning. And he's like, oh, okay, good morning. All right, let's go back. I love this.
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
I don't care about you nor Antoine. When you walk in here, say good morning like we said to you.
Oh, okay. Good morning.
Yeah. I don't care about no Antoine. I don't care none of that.
I say good morning.
No, I'm asking. You want to order food?
Yeah, I am. Can I finish with her though? I want to check her.
I don't want to hear about none of that.
Can I finish with her though? I want to check it. No, I don't want to hear none of that. You want to order some food? Okay.
Checkmating nothing here.
Danita.
I'm checking all.
I'm
checking lists and everything.
Danita's Christmas.
And you at ho ho ho. Yes, baby. Right back at you. You want some chicken?
Oh my God.
Oh, here comes the reinforcements. Here we go. Bunch of angry chicken ladies.
Y'all coming?
Yeah, welcome to our store. You ain't about to come in and checkmate nothing about.
Oh my God. I thought I was in the suburbs. I thought this New Philly?
Northwest Chester. We don't know who you talking to. And ain't nobody up here want no.
If I would have got my nails done, it would be order popping.
Baby, you had to bring your bag.
So I just better order my food and shut up.
You're still gonna get some food though.
Y'all fight me?
I'll knock you out. I got too many deep pants back here. I'm so honest. I've been a busting in here before.
Okay, there you go. But again, here's why it's the moment.
Yeah, how you doing? My boyfriend was here earlier. He said that you wrote your phone number or his receipt, and I'm
sorry, that look, that dead expression of, oh, geez, what am I dealing with here? All right, there you go, folks. That's your moment of joy for this day, the 29th of December. How about that? All right. It's called Danita, It's Christmas. Her best line to him was when he said, Danita, it's Christmas. And she goes, and you're a ho, ho, ho. Like, all right, Danita with the quick clap back. I like it. All right. So what's the big deal with today? Why is today a thing? Well, here's something that's trending today, and maybe we'll get into it. I don't really know how much I have to say about it. On this day in 1890, the Wounded Knee Massacre on Pine Ridge Indian Reservation went down. 300 Lakota are killed by the United States 7th Cavalry Regiment. Slaughter. Just, another one of these things that we did back in the day when, there was no canceling. There was no social media outrage. You could just pretty much do anything back then if you were, a white guy trying to take land. And on this day in 1890, they slaughtered a whole bunch. See, here's what was going on. Apparently, there was like this meeting at Wounded Knee among all of these people, these Indians, natives, excuse me. I don't want to fall into that trap, who were attempting to unify the tribes of the area so that they could defend their land. And as this thing was going on, the U.S., I believe it's the 7th Cavalry Regiment, just swooped on down and slaughtered a whole bunch of them. There are early photographs. There are all, look, Wounded Knee was an absolutely disgusting black mark on the proud and bold history of the United States of America. And that happened today in 1890. And it's trending for another reason, and maybe we'll get into it. It's all right, I'll tell you why it's trending, but we don't necessarily get into it right now. Wounded Knee is trending today because people are screaming and demanding that President Biden rescind the Medal of Honor, which was awarded to 20 members of the 7th Cavalry Regiment. 20 guys who went down there and slaughtered 300 Indians. And I don't know if this is true or not, but, the stuff they 250 of them were old women, old men, women, and children. It's like, okay, I don't know if that's true, but whatever. It's just terrible in general that they went and slaughtered a whole bunch of people. And 20 members of the 7th Cavalry received medals of honor, and it's trending today because they want Biden to take back the Medal of Honor for these 20 members of the 7th Cavalry, who, again, it was just a slaughter. 1937, happy birthday, Ireland. That's right. On this day in 1937, the nation of Ireland was born, came from the Irish Free State, which was a short-lived country. It was a treaty between the Anglicans and the Irish, allowing them to have some semblance of a parliament, a Congress, and self-rule and all that. But on this day in 1997, that all came to an end with the establishment of the Republic of Ireland, or just Ireland. There are two kinds of Ireland here. Sometimes you run into these people who are like, I'm Irish too. And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're a dirty Protestant from Northern Ireland. You are not Irish. You can only call yourself Irish if your descendants are from Ireland, which is the south of Ireland. If you're from Belfast, I don't want to hear about it. Get out of here, Belfast. You guys didn't want your freedom. You guys stayed with the Brits, and now you're still in the United Kingdom, so piss off. It's Ireland. The rest of us are Irishmen. We're Irishmen from Ireland, not that little part up at the top there where all the Brits are still fancy, taken care of. Go tell your queen. We don't have a queen in Ireland on this day in 1937. On this day in 1937, the Irish Free State is replaced by a new state called Ireland with the adoption of a new Irish constitution. Okay, so back to my dark stuff that we do here on this day. Was there a plane crash today, Pugs? Every day you talk about how there's been a different plane crash on every single day of the year. Well, yep, I'm not here to let you down. So in 1972, an Eastern Airlines Flight 401, a Lockheed L-1011 TriStar, crashed in the Florida Everglades on approach to Miami International Airport, killing 101 of the 176 people on board. 1972. That's my theory, man. I'm telling you. Before 2000, there was at least a plane crash a day. Now, that doesn't mean that every day. It just means that in history, if you look throughout the history of commercial aviation travel, which I think we divvied that down to like 1945 to the year 2000. So 55 years of commercial airline travel. There were planes that went down every day. Every day when I look at this day in history, there's another plane crash. 1972, 1963, 1958, whatever. People died in planes all the time, and we don't do that anymore, thankfully. I can't remember the last major plane crash. I'm trying to think. I mean, the last major plane incident that I remember was the Malaysian one that went missing, and that was like 7 years ago. But I don't remember 150 people being killed when their plane that was bound for England crashed in South Carolina. I don't know about it. These don't seem to happen. In 1975, okay, this is not a plane crash, but it does fall into my. The reason planes crash so much between 1945 and 2000 is because they were still working out the bugs. They didn't know, they hadn't troubleshot every possible scenario for what could go wrong with a plane until about 2000. And then they figured it all out. This is just my own idiotic sort of theory. But that also concerns security, like the ability to just get a bomb in a suitcase. I think that security really picked up around 2002, 2001, certainly after 9/11. But there were all kinds of, so this is another one that falls into that. 1975, a bomb explodes at LaGuardia Airport in New York City, killing 11 people and injuring 74. So not a plane crash, but still an air travel related incident. In 1994, Turkish Airlines Flight 278, a Boeing 737, crashes on approach to Van Ferret Melon Airport in Van, Turkey, killing 76 people on board. And in 2012, here we go. See, the one caveat that I make to my planes past the year 2000 being safer, air travel seeming to have become more safe after the year 2000. The one caveat is any sort of Eastern Bloc nation, like, if you're like a Kazakhstani Air or something like that. Or in this case, in 2012, a Tupolev Tu-204 airliner crashes in a ditch between the airport fence and the M3 highway after overshooting a runway at Vnukovo International Airport in Moscow, killing 5 people and leaving 3 others critically injured. There you have it. We had how many plane crashes today? 1, 2, 3 legit plane crashes. 1 falls outside the year 2000 limit, and 1 was a bomb that went off in a plane at an airport that killed people on the ground. So, yeah, okay, so we got 2 legit plane crashes. Both of them, one in Florida, crashed into the Everglades. Oh, that's gotta suck. Your plane crashes, and then you're dealing with alligators and all that nonsense. Ugh. Born on this day, we do some birthdays as well. 1947. Ted Danson was born. Now, I'm going to say something controversial on the Ted Danson topic. I don't believe Sam Malone's character from Cheers is his best character. I don't believe it's his best character. I think that he has had 2 other roles that are far more interesting than Sam Malone from Cheers. Happy birthday, Ted Danson. Those are Ted Danson on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He plays himself. On Curb Your Enthusiasm, he plays Ted Danson, friend with real life Larry David. And he's hysterical. He's hysterical in Curb Your Enthusiasm as Ted Danson. But his best role, better than either of those 2. Michael from The Good Place. If you're not watching The Good Place, if you haven't seen The Good Place, what an amazing show that was. The Good Place just went off the air a couple of years ago or so. I think it ran for like 5 seasons, maybe 6 seasons. Kristen Bell, Ted Danson. I don't know anybody else who's in it, but it's really, really a good show. It's a sitcom about philosophy, about the deeper meaning of life. It's good. He played Michael, who was sort of like an angel, I guess, or maybe a devil. I don't know. You got to watch the series. You got to figure out exactly what he is. But he's brilliant in it. So happy birthday, Ted Danson. Still going strong at 74? Is that what we'll do? We'll do 74 for Ted Danson. Okay. 1959, born on this day. And I only mention this because this is somewhat Paula Poundstone, the comedian, the female comedian from the 90s and the 80s. She was one of the leading female voices in comedy. She was a big star for a period of time. But the reason I make note of Paula Poundstone is because she had an interesting thing happen to her. While we were all experiencing the horror, the reality, the tragedy of 9/11, that was like one of the best things that ever happened in Paula Poundstone's life. Pugs, how can you say that? How can you say 9/11 was the best thing that happened in Paula Poundstone's life? Well, because on September 10th, the big story in America was about how Paula Poundstone was a drunk who abused her foster children, and the state of California had to come in and take her kids from her, and she had to go into rehab, and she had to get all cleaned out. She had to cancel all kinds of gigs. She lost a TV job that she was doing. She had a horrible week leading up to 9/11, and then 9/11 happened, and nobody mentioned Paula Poundstone again. It was like between September 7th and September 10th, the whole world was angry at Paula Poundstone. And then on September 11th, the events of that day go down. And then suddenly nobody ever talks about Paula Poundstone again. So there you have it. Happy birthday, Paula Poundstone, someone who personally benefited from 9/11. Born on this day in 1963, future Chicago Bear coach. Sean Payton. Sean Payton was born on this day. American football player and coach. Football player, really? I mean, he's a quarterback. He wasn't so great. He was good at Eastern Illinois University. He was good down there. Great coach. One of the best coaches of the last easy decade, certainly, in maybe even more, 15 years. How long has he been down there now? Has he been in New Orleans for almost 20 years? I don't know. Got that stupid show. I will never let Emil and Ed, the two people most closely associated with this stream other than myself, I will never forget that Emil and Ed looked at the trailer for the Sean Payton stupid-ass Netflix show and said, that looks fine. I do not recognize anything trite or ridiculous about that show. In fact, it looks good. I'm going to watch it. Ed and E must watch every episode of that stupid new Sean Payton show that's coming to Netflix, or I will never forgive them. And I will never forget that I made fun of that show and that all they did was tell me that I was wrong and that I was in a bad mood. They're stupid. Ed is a guy who I trust when it comes to quality entertainment, quality content. Ed is a guy who's got a very discerning eye for what's stupid and what's good. And Ed loved it. Ed said that the trailer looked amazing. I will never... He doesn't watch anything. You know what? He was probably just being a contrarian. He ain't gonna watch it. He didn't care about that stuff. But he just said, because I said it looks stupid. We're talking about the Sean Payton show on Netflix. That's coming to Netflix, starring Kevin James. Kevin James is who you're gonna get to play Sean Payton. Never forget, Ed and Emil said that that's going to be a great show. And look, I'm not completely married to the idea that it's a dumb show, but the trailer looked so idiotic. It looks so maddeningly repetitive of a million other things that we've seen. When the actual story of what Sean Payton did is an interesting story. They could have gone the Remember the Titans route, but they didn't. They went the Mighty Ducks route, and it just looks idiotic. Happy birthday, Sean Payton, born on this day in 1963. Born on this day in 1972, Jude Law. Jude Law, who is not Christian Bale or Paul Bettany. There you go. I just provided you with a service. Jude Law is neither Christian Bale or Paul Bettany. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I have difficulty being able to tell the difference between those three actors. No idea. There's a bunch of actors. There's a bunch of people like that I just glom into one sort of category where they're like the same person to me. Well, I'll give you an example. I for a period of time in the 1980s, I made no distinction between Kurt Russell, Patrick Swayze, and Dennis Quaid. I made no difference. They all look the same to me. They're all like the same guy. Kurt Russell, Dennis Quaid, and Patrick Swayze. They were all like the same guy. I imagine if you're casting a movie where you needed someone like that, you could walk into the audition room and you would see Patrick Swayze sitting next to Kurt Russell, sitting next to Dennis Quaid. Also, I tweeted this the other day. Got a pretty nice response on Twitter. I make no distinction between Rebecca De Mornay and Rosanna Arquette. I don't know the difference between them. I stared. I looked at Bing images of both of them, and I said to myself, all right, which one is Rebecca De Mornay and which one is Rosanna Arquette? I can't. And you know how this came about? I watched a movie. I watched an old HBO movie about the Cold War called By Dawn's Early Light. Starred Powers Booth. And his co-pilot. Powers Booth played the pilot of a nuclear bomber that was on its way to Russia to carpet bomb Russia with nuclear bombs. And his co-pilot was a woman. And I'm watching this whole damn movie, and I'm like, I didn't know Rosanna Arquette was in this. And it turns out it was Rebecca De Mornay. And that's how I make no distinction between the two of them. Who else? Oh, you know who else? Okay, so here's one. Now, this got to go back like 15 years or so. But I make a distinction now because one has definitely outpaced the other. But Paul Rudd and D.B. Sweeney. Early careers for both of them, I could not tell the difference between Paul Rudd and D.B. Sweeney. They were like the exact same actor. They looked the same. They did the same kind of roles. And then D.B. Sweeney kind of fell off the face of the earth, and Paul Rudd became the sexiest man in the world. So Paul Rudd wins. But all right, there you go. Jude Law. I make no distinction between Jude Law, Paul Bettany, and Christian Bale. One was Batman, right? One is Batman. One is right, Christian Bale was Batman. Paul Bettany plays Vision in the Marvel universe. And Jude Law, I don't know if Jude Law ever played anybody. Not a clue. But happy birthday, Jude Law, born on this day in 1972. Born on this day in 1976, one of the funniest people on the planet. Somebody who, I have this thing where there are certain people who can just come on screen and say nothing, have no line of dialogue, have absolutely nothing, just stand there in the corner in a screen, and I will just start giggling to myself because I know something funny is about to happen. I have that with Bill Murray. Bill Murray has that power over me. Bill Murray can just walk into a scene and I'll be like, okay, something funny is going to happen. Chris Elliott. I don't know if you remember Chris Elliott, but Chris Elliott is another one of those guys. He just comes onto the screen and I'm like, okay, something funny. He's about to say something funny. Something funny is going to happen. But Danny McBride, who's celebrating a birthday today, is also in that list. Danny McBride, who Eastbound and Down, The Mighty Gemstones, The Foot Fist Way. If you've ever seen the movie The Foot Fist Way, Danny McBride is hysterical. He's just such a funny guy. So I put him in that category with the Bill Murrays. Who else? There's other people. Nick Kroll is kind of like that now. Whenever Nick Kroll comes into a scene, I'm like, okay, all right, something funny is about to happen. There's a list of other people. That's a list for Pillow Talk. My list of people who make me laugh without even having to say anything or do anything funny. Happy birthday, Danny McBride, born on this day in 1976. Born on this day in 1982. Now this is a lovely one. This is one of my all-time favorites, my current all-time favorites. All-time favorites tend to shift with the eras. And I know that Pugs, that sounds like a direct contradiction to what an all-time favorite is. Yeah, I know, but I am myself a walking contradiction with just about everything. On this day in 1983, American actress and just adorable individual, Alison Brie was born. Alison Brie. Oh, my God. Oh, she's a favorite of mine. Of course, from Community is where she first busted out onto the scene. Annie. She played Annie on Community. Oh, was she adorable. And then she did Glow. And then her career has taken off. She's in all kinds of movies. You see her. She's popping up everywhere. Alison Brie's in this. Alison Brie's in that. She's in something new, too. You know what I watched her in recently? Promising Young Woman, which was a film that is so good. It's the best movie that I've seen this year. And I know it came out. Pugs, it came out last year. I'm old. I don't see movies when they come out. I see movies when they're made available to me for free on some platform that I pay monthly for. I don't go to movies. Pugs, you said they were free, and then you said you pay monthly for. You know what I mean. Look, I take the Netflix hit. I take the Amazon Prime hit. I take the Hulu hit. I just consider those to be, that's dead money that every month is just going out for those platforms. And should something appear on that, I watch it free of charge with no commercials. That's how I justify it. Promising Young Woman. Alison Brie was in that. She's good. She's good in everything. Happy birthday, Alison Brie. All right. Let's see. Let's get into what's happening today. Because like what we do here on this show, we talk about all the things that are trending. Prince is trending. Now, this I wanted to get to. Prince would not normally be what I would lead off with because he's trending for just a stupid reason, something about some of his music or something that they're trying to get released, and it may or may not come out this year. So things I'm looking forward to. Prince's new music being put up. Whatever. Okay, fine. So that's why Prince is trending. It's not the big story, but it does play into something that I experienced last night. I just happened to have rewatched Purple Rain last night. Why? I don't know. I was switching back and forth between a Star Wars movie because I'm trying to make my way through all the Star Wars movies. I was switching back and forth between a Star Wars movie and Purple Rain. Why did I fall into Purple Rain? No idea. I just stumbled across it. I was scrolling through my shit, looking for stuff to watch, looking for something that was interesting. Purple Rain was there, and I was like, damn. I don't think I've seen Purple Rain since the 1980s. I mean, I remember I liked it. I remember I had friends who loved it, who went and saw it like 5, 6, 7 times. I saw it once. I thought it was great. I had the album, played the hell out of the album. What a great album. And by the way, if you rewatch Purple Rain, you'll be reminded right away what a great album Purple Rain was. Gotta be the greatest soundtrack of all time. It's gotta be. So here's my question about Purple Rain. And again, Prince is trending because apparently some new music might be coming out. We don't know for sure. People are speculating. Here's my thing about Purple Rain. In watching it in the year 2021, women, I remember back in the day, I remember 80s women, 80s girls, let's call it. Oh my God, they were nuts for Prince. Prince was like the sexiest, the smoothest, the coolest. Oh, he's so mysterious. Oh, he just doesn't care. And that makes me want him even more. You know, that whole thing. Prince had this like magical spell over women. And I'm watching Purple Rain last night. Dude was borderline criminal with his women. Dude was disrespectful. Dude was a bully to his, and I'm talking mainly about Apollonia. You know the scene where he takes Apollonia out on the motorcycle and well, what's the song that's playing? Take me with you. And they're riding on the motorcycle through the woods of Wisconsin, and they get to Lake Minnetonka, and then Prince tells her that she'll never be accepted as a regular in the Minnesota music scene until she purifies herself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. And then, of course, 19 too, by the way. Apollonia was supposed to be 19 years old in that movie. 19! God damn! She looked like a 35-year-old divorced MILF. She did not look 19. But whatever. So Prince tells her she's got to purify herself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. So, of course, because Prince, this elfin-looking dude on a purple motorcycle wearing a velour coat, velour purple overcoat with ruffles. What's going on here? That was not a look that was tolerated in Minnesota in the mid-1980s. That's all I'm saying. That, I don't know where that seemed like hey, worked out for Prince, though, right? So who am I to judge? Apparently it worked out. He tells her she's got to she needs to purify herself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. So, of course, 19-year-old Apollonia, she strips down and she jumps into the waters, right? Okay, first of all, I was waiting on that scene because as like a 13-year-old when I first saw it, I remember that being like one of the most amazing naked nudie scenes in the history. It was all right. It wasn't even full nude. It was just topless. You saw her boobs for like a second. She's a beautiful woman. I was an idiot at 13. I just thought that was something amazing. And it just turned out to be just another quick little boob flash scene. So she jumps in the water and she's cold because it's like, what, December or something? And she gets out and he goes, oh, that's not Lake Minnetonka. So he tricks her. He tricks her into getting her naked. Then he tells her like all like mind F stuff. Like he's like totally trying to groom her and like mind F her throughout this entire scene. And then she's wet, dripping. She has to get back in her leather outfit because she was wearing a leather outfit. She's all wet, no towel, no nothing. She's now going to try and put on leather pants with wet legs, having just jumped in the waters of what turned out to not be Lake Minnetonka. So she puts her leather suit on, and then he's sitting there on his motorcycle, boom, 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 with the motorcycle running, boom, boom, boom. And she goes to sling her leg over to climb on the back of the motorcycle, and he jumps forward. Like that, like idiotic thing. This is Prince. I thought Prince was cool. That is totally not a cool thing. So then she's like, hey, cut it out. Let me get on. And he's like, I'm sorry, baby. You can get on now. Boom, 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 boom. She throws her leg over a second time. He pulls up. Prince was a dick. He was a total dick. And then the first time they meet, all right, tell me this isn't creeper weird, call the authorities, get his name on a list. First time they meet, she's applying for a job at First Avenue, the club where Prince is playing. And she has just watched Prince on stage do Let's Go Crazy. And, oh, man, did he slam it with that? He rocked the house. People were going nuts. So she's filling out an application by the corner of the bar, and Prince comes out from the side stage, right? And they lock eyes. And it's not just like, when you see somebody kind of like and you lock eyes for a minute. No, Prince like dead eye stares at her for a good 90 seconds. They're like 3 feet from each other. And he is just dead eye staring at her. And she's looking all weirded out. And she's like, what is this? Oh, but also she's looking like, oh, I'm about to orgasm. He is so sexy. And then you know what Prince does? Prince puts on his sunglasses, his mirrored sunglasses inside the dark club, and then sort of rotates behind her back. She is still facing forward. Now Prince is standing like a foot behind her, just staring at her, the back of her head through the sunglasses. And she's like, okay. She's like staring. She's like, oh, this is so hot. Meanwhile, I'm watching this going, that is some weird ass behavior. That is. So I don't know. I guess my question is this. What do you want, ladies? Do you want somebody to treat you like Prince? Because Prince treated women pretty shitty. He was kind of a dick boyfriend. That's it. That's my Prince rant. What else is trending? All right, so Prince. There might be some Prince music coming. Let's see here. Trending Austin for all of us here in Texas who love the great city of Austin. What are you talking about? Austin's the San Francisco of Texas. Oh, fuck you. Austin is cool, man. Austin is a cool city, and thank God it's here in Texas because I think it's one of the coolest places in Texas. You got the hill country, you got food, you got music, you got arts, you got entertainment. It's just a cool-ass city. If I could live anywhere, here's my thing. I always say, like, if I had just a bunch of money and I could move and I could live anywhere, here's where it would be. It would be two places. Madison, Wisconsin, just buy a big-ass house on a lake in Madison, Wisconsin, and live there for the rest of my days because it's got 4 seasons, and I kind of like 4 seasons. But the second is Austin. Just buy a place in the hills, hunt raccoons, I don't know, maybe start a barbecue restaurant. I don't know, but Austin would be an awesome place. Austin ain't an awesome place right now, though, because Austin is now going to what they're calling Stage 4. I'm sorry. On the cusp of a new year, Omicron prompts Austin to adopt stricter Stage 4 pandemic guidelines. Days ahead of the new year and its planned celebrations, Austin Public Health announced it was shifting back to the stricter Stage 4 pandemic recommendations under its risk-based guidelines for COVID-19. Austin Public Health, in a statement early Wednesday, said the move to Stage 4 was necessary because of the Omicron variant, the newest highly transmissible strain of the virus currently sweeping the nation. Let's see. So what does this mean? What does Stage 4 mean? Let's go. Stage 4, here are the recommendations if you are in Austin for Stage 4. Fully vaccinated individuals. Now, fully vaccinated today means you're boosted. Means you got the 2 shots, and then you also got the booster. Or in the case where you only needed 1 shot, you got the 1 shot and the booster. But whatever. Stage 4, fully vaccinated, under the conditions of Stage 4, a fully vaccinated individual is somebody who has the booster. So fully vaccinated individuals should wear masks when gathering with people outside of their household, traveling, dining, and shopping. And, also there's a note here, get your booster as soon as you are eligible. Another recommendation for Stage 4, which is where Austin is right now, partially or unvaccinated individuals should wear masks, avoid gatherings with people outside of their household, only travel and shop if essential, and choose takeaway options for dining. Get fully vaccinated as soon as possible is the other recommendation. All right, so that's it. So that's Stage 4. Apparently there is a Stage 5. That's like the big one. And they went to Stage 5 last, is it August? Let's see here. I don't know. It says something on Stage 5. Yeah, they had been in Stage 5 just once for a couple of weeks, and that was back when Delta was surging. But we've just moved it up in Austin. So there you go. That's why Austin is trending. Austin is now in the Stage 4 of whatever it is that means. So, all right. Let's see here. Who else? What else is trending? All right. So let's get to this, right? We'll get to a couple of these. John Madden is trending. John Madden, the for a big swath of the male population, John Madden is football. John Madden died yesterday. It was a big one. This was he's an important cultural figure in the American historical, whatever you want to call it. Football, when John Madden was a football coach. A lot of people don't realize this. John Madden won the Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Raiders, I think in 1976. The crazy Raiders, man. Kenny Stabler. They were a partying team. And John Madden was like this young, fat, irate, slobby coach. He became a bit of a national curiosity. He had sort of long hair and sideburns, and he was heavy. He was probably in his 30s, and he was a heavy set fat guy in his 30s. And he used to run up and down the sidelines and scream at referees. He would get into it. He was very animated, very interesting. And then, like, in the prime of his coaching career, after winning a Super Bowl, he just said, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going to coach anymore. I got my Super Bowl. This is going to kill me. And he moved to the broadcast booth. And John Madden essentially invented the way football games are called today. Before John Madden, it was very dry. It was very, guys in suits, old guys in suits being very, descriptive, but not necessarily interesting, not funny. John Madden brought a personality into the broadcast booth for calling football games that is still to this day emulated on every single sports broadcast that you hear now. You can be watching baseball, you can be watching basketball, you can be watching football. There is now a Madden guy. And then, he does that. He becomes this icon of American sports broadcasting alongside his partner, Pat Summerall. Shouldn't forget about Pat Summerall. Pat and John, man, I'm telling you, if you were watching football in the 80s and the 90s, the early 2000s, Pat Summerall and John Madden, if they were calling the game, it was the biggest game of the week because they were the A-team. Both of them are gone now. And then John Madden totally reinvents himself to a new generation. My kid's 12 years old. My kid knows who John Madden is because of Madden football. The Madden football, which just started out as a lark for him. He was convinced to do it. He's like, oh, okay, I'll do it. It wasn't even something that branding of John Madden for Madden football has become, oh my God, talk about generational wealth. I mean, I don't know what he made doing football games as a broadcaster in the 1980s and 90s. He probably made a great living by 80s and 90s standards, but I don't know if that was enough to get him generational wealth. The licensing of the Madden products and the Madden name and Madden football and all that has grown into now over 20 years, that's where the Madden family is getting their generational wealth from. And hopefully that'll stay. Like, I would love to be on my deathbed in 30, 40 years and, have my grandchild not be in the room because he's playing Madden 2050 or whatever. That would be great. That would be I hope they still remember him because John Madden was a colorful guy. Never met him. Never got an opportunity to be in the same room with him or see the way he behaves when he's off mic. But everybody that I know that has met him speaks glowingly of him. Just what a great, big, gregarious, fun-loving guy. John Madden died at 85 years old. I want to say. All right. And this was funny because this all happened at around the same time last night. So John Madden died and he starts trending last night. And immediately, there's always one. And then with online bullshit, there's always 10,000. And immediately he started trending and someone started up with the whole, yes, well, before we canonize him as a saint, maybe we should all remind ourselves that it's John Madden and his glorification of head injuries that has caused this concussion epidemic in the NFL. Oh, shut up! Oh, stop it! John Madden and his boom, or John Madden and his big hitters, or his all Madden team, his manly men who just knock the snot out of people. Really, that's why kids who play football get concussions. It's all John Madden's fault. Oh, shut up! There's always somebody in the crowd, and all I could think of is, honestly, if you can find divisiveness in the passing of John Madden, you're just tuned to be divisive. You're just somebody who wants at every turn to start a fight over something stupid, because there's no fight to be had about John Madden, his complicity with CTE or any of these other problems that the NFL had. Just stop it. You're being a moron. So that fight is actually trending on Twitter. And then Harry Reid dies. And I'm like, Harry Reid, longtime senator from the state of Nevada, Democrat, progressive, liberal, whatever you want to say. You morons are out there fighting about John Madden because what? You didn't think anybody actually divisive was going to die? Have at it. Here's Harry Reid. And then sure enough, everybody stopped bashing John Madden. And then suddenly it became, Harry Reid was a monster. Harry Reid was a is an icon. Harry Reid is terrible. Harry Reid is great. I mean, it just became this whole thing. Look, here's what I'll tell you about Harry Reid. First of all, he was a politician from Las Vegas. So I don't give a shit what side of the aisle he's on. Dude was crooked. You're a politician from Vegas? Are you kidding me? He was a politician in Vegas when Vegas had their big explosion of corporate money, too. He was a senator in Las Vegas when Vegas went from being a town that was run by the mob that was a little bit sketchy in the 70s and 80s into the Disney Vegas that we have today of the 1990s. Harry Reid was there for all of it. I'm sorry. That dude, all I'll say, he's a politician from Las Vegas. That's all I'm saying about Harry Reid. Actually, that's not all I'm going to say about Harry Reid, because the one thing that I did really like about Harry Reid was that he was all in with the UFO stuff. Yeah, I'm a big UFO guy. You know, I have a story. Someday I'll share that, maybe on a pillow talk, but I have a story. I've told it a couple of times. I don't like to tell it because people think that I'm crazy, and then it turns into me being silly about it, and then I realize that me being silly about it actually takes away from the seriousness of what actually happened. So I don't tell the story about my alien abduction all that much, but someday I will. But Harry Reid was all into that, man. He wanted the Project Blue Book reopened. He wanted to see the bodies at Area 51. After all, he was a senator from there. So as far as, and not like crazy, stupid, weird stuff. Pugs, what do you mean crazy, stupid, weird stuff and UFO theorists? No way. Yeah, I know. A lot of that gets muddied up. But that's part of the government's plan. If you can make all the people who are saying these things seem crazy, but didn't work for QAnon. You know, QAnon seems to be very popular and all that shit is very crazy. So stop it with the disinformation about UFOs. Harry Reid wanted to get to the bottom of it. He legitimately he wasn't about little green men and all that stuff, but he seriously wanted the answers on, you know, all of these things. Like, what are people seeing? Why is the government not saying anything? Where's all of this stuff? I'm from Nevada. There's supposed to be a big place, a base here, Area 51. So Harry Reid was cool on that stuff. I always appreciated the fact that he didn't fall into the UFO people are lunatic people. He actually, well, and some of them are there are carpetbaggers in every single situation here in this country. If someone thinks they can get a buck off something, they're going to go in and they're going to be disruptive and they're going to be a con. So that exists. That does exist with these UFO conventions and all this stuff. But there are legitimate, serious people who are talking about legitimate, serious topics concerning UFOs and extra terrestrials and all of that kind of stuff. Very serious people who are not crazy Jerry Springer guests. And Harry Reid was kind of aligned with them. So I appreciate that. Who else is trending today? Oh, look at this. Joe Francis is trending today. Y'all know who Joe Francis is? Joe Francis is, of course, Girls Gone Wild. Joe Francis. He is so not built for the Me Too era, right? I mean, Joe Francis, you would think somebody would have taken this guy. That's not why he's trending, though. Surprise, surprise. He's trending because he's just kind of a dirtbag. He is every single time, and I've had occasion to be around Joe Francis from time to time. Every single time I've been in a room with this guy, he has just been, I don't know, maybe my asshole dar goes off, but he's just such a dick. He just seemed like such an arrogant, entitled, pompous, crude dick of a human being. So point blank, I don't like Joe Francis. So who is Joe Francis? Well, he's the Girls Gone Wild guy. You know, remember, he's the guy that, hats off to him. Gotta give Joe Francis credit. Joe Francis was working at some production house, and I think they were putting together blooper reels for like Major League Baseball, I believe it is. I may not have all the details on this, but he was working as like a production assistant, and he was editing together all of this raw video from broadcast baseball games. And a lot of the video had to do with when they go into commercials, camera guys in stadiums are perverts. So while the game is in a commercial, camera guys, they're still filming and they're still rolling. They would like zoom in on girls, hot girls, sexy girls, girls with big boobs, girls jumping up and down, whatever it was. And Joe Francis, while working on this blooper reel, started to pull all of these little individual shots of like girls in baseball. And he put together some video that he then quit the company, went rogue, and started, on late night television marketing this video. And the video went nuts for him. He was like a 20-something-year-old kid. He is the first business venture. This little, call now and receive 90 minutes of, outtakes from, and so whatever. So he put that thing together. And then he realized, hey, you know what? I could do this again. What else should we do? How about just we go to the beach and we film girls in, and that's pretty much how Girls Gone Wild became a thing. And, for years and years, people were like, Joe Francis, he's a billionaire off of that. I just looked at Joe Francis's net worth. Joe Francis is a rich guy by just about anybody's standards. Joe Francis is a rich dude. But his net worth is only $25 million. I remember like a decade ago, people were like, he's worth $1 billion. And I was like, no, not from direct video sales. No, he's not. No, he's not building software. He's not creating apps. He doesn't have a website. He didn't build eBay or Amazon. This is a guy who's just, appealing to dudes who still watch spank flicks on VCRs. There is no way this guy is worth $1 billion. Turns out he's only worth $25 million. Which, again, is enough money for absolutely anyone to live out all of their dreams. But in the world of like super rich, of modern super, where we've got guys that are worth over $100 billion, Joe Francis in his $25 million. Joe Francis with that $25 million couldn't even buy the most expensive house in this neighborhood. So, that's I know I'm skewed. I'm living in the 1%er neighborhood here. I'm a little bit skewed as to what houses cost, but still. All right, so why is Joe Francis trending? Because he's fighting with his ex-girlfriend and mother of his children. Let's listen to what this dick is getting into. Joe Francis is accusing his ex-girlfriend, Abby Wilson, of kidnapping their 2 young daughters in Mexico, this according to a new report. The Girls Gone Wild founder, 48, told TMZ Wednesday that he was supposed to see his 7-year-old twins, Athena and Alexandria, on Christmas, but the girls and their mother have, quote, fallen off the grid. All right, so Joe Francis is upset because he's supposed to have his girls for Christmas, but he can't get in touch with the... First of all, this is bullshit. He doesn't care about his girls because you don't allow someone to just fall off the radar. You stay in contact. You work through all the awkward phone calls because the end result is you spending time with your children. This guy saying, I was supposed to have for Christmas, but they never showed up. Dude, I don't think you were following up. I don't think you were following up on the plans. I think that Christmas Day rolled around, you had a burr under your saddle and decided you were going to be a dick about it. So then you tried to call your wife. She didn't answer. And now suddenly she's fallen off. And why do I believe this? Because the story goes on. This guy doesn't give a shit about these kids. The Girls Gone Wild founder said that he was supposed to see his 7-year-old twins on Christmas, but the girls and their mother have fallen off the grid. According to court documents obtained by the outlet, Wilson, 33, that's his girlfriend, is also accused of family violence, and authorities have tried to serve her with papers, but she allegedly hasn't been living in her listed residence for at least 6 months. So for at least 6 months, he's had no contact with the kids. So at least 6 months, he has no idea where his wife is, but now he's all upset because they weren't with him on Christmas. Dude, you did nothing for 6. You don't get the kids on Christmas. You don't get to take Christmas away from the mom just because you did Christmas and I'm Joe Francis. Oh, screw you. You didn't even know where your kids were for 6 months. Page 6, Wilson's attorney, this is, by the way, he never married her. They were together for 12 years. He never put a ring on it. Oh, and here's the best part. He met her. She's the winner of the Girls Gone Wild Sexiest Girl at the Beach contest or something like that. She won some Girls Gone Wild contest, and then he ended up knocking her up and having a couple of kids with her. Ugh. That's the other. Okay, so back to the Prince thing from earlier, where I'm just so confused by you women. I used to work at a radio station, and whenever Girls Gone Wild would come to town, they would buy advertising on our station. And we'd run these things, and I did an appearance at a Girls Gone Wild scouting trip once, or scouting, whatever. If you're a hot girl in Dallas and you want to show your boobs to a bunch of perverts on VHS, get down to, and then they'd mention the bar. Man, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women showed up for that stuff. All of them. And it was just nonstop. Look at my boobs. Look at my boobs. I mean, you got the Prince thing I was talking about earlier. Prince is a complete a-hole to these girls. And every girl in America loved him for it. Oh, you can't blame us guys for being a little bit confused. Now, me, I'm lucky. I am outside the nonsense zone where dating and relationships and all of that stuff play a major role in my day-to-day life. I don't even think about that anymore. I don't even care. But holy crap, if I was a 25-year-old, I would have no idea what you women want, because you say you want one thing, but then Prince is somebody that you go crazy. Hundreds of girls shows up for Girls Gone Wild. I want to be a whore on video. I want my uncle in Alabama to pop a video in and see me doing this. These women, hundreds and hundreds of women. And, Pugs, I didn't get the register. Is there something that you can do to help me register? To show your boobs? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All I'm saying is I don't date anymore. I don't really care. Well, when I say I don't date anymore, what I mean is I'm not actively out there. I'm not actively out. Should something happen? Wonderful. Should I meet somebody organically? I'm open to anything. I'm just saying, I'm not going out to bars to try and meet girls anymore. That ship has sailed. I have no interest in that. All right, so let's get back to Joe. Joe and his, he's so upset he didn't get his kids for Christmas. His ex's attorney, Ronald Richards, told Page Six in a lengthy statement Wednesday that his client was not, quote, missing. The Mexican court has her address, the attorney insisted, before alleging that Frances has been physically and verbally abusive to Wilson for many years. I can see that. She categorically denies that she's been charged with kidnapping, says her attorney. She has full custody of her children. He only has limited supervised visitation. Whoa, so something went down there. There's a story there. He only has supervised? What is that about? He can't be alone with his daughters? And he's upset that they were AWOL on Christmas after him not having any contact with them for 6 months? Okay. He only has limited supervised visitation. She has retained counsel, and any court papers, like in the U.S., are served on counsel of record. There is no Amber Alert or any other bulletin out there looking for her. The Los Angeles-based lawyer, known for his involvement in Tom Girardi's bankruptcy case, I don't know about that, said Frances has not provided his kids with financial support in any way: school, education, medical bills, food, etc. Richards also claims the businessman brutally attacked and beat her up. So he's saying that Joe beat up his Girls Gone Wild winning girlfriend that he had 2 kids with. Frances has denied that he beat her up. He is angry and trying to make her look bad because he is angry he went to jail last year. Did he go to jail? Was that a thing? Did he go to jail for? The attorney added, "This is it. He is a violent human being, and his track record proves that. He has a history of submitting false stories about our client. He should surrender to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Fugitive Detail, who has been looking to execute those outstanding bench warrants on him for 5 years." But what is it? They know where he lives. I know where he lives. Well, I couldn't get there, but I know the area. Frances met Wilson when she won Girls Gone Wild Search for the Hottest Girl in America contest in 2012. They were never married. Their nearly 12-year relationship ended in 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic, with Wilson alleging in July that Frances did drugs and was abusive. He told Page Six in response at the time, "My ex-girlfriend just keeps making things up and lying and lying and lying. I have to defend myself and publicly separate myself with her now." Well, I do not doubt that women lie. And I also don't doubt that a woman that, was in a Girls Gone Wild contest might be kind of a crazy ex-girlfriend. That's a thing. They exist. But Joe, you just do not have the track record to have me do anything but side with the crazy ex-girlfriend on this one. TMZ reported Wednesday that Frances also said in docs that his kids have not been located. But Wilson, the ex, posted a cheerful photo of one of their girls leaping happily on the beach just 2 days ago. So like the day after Christmas, she posted something on Instagram. I'm looking at the picture. The kid's on the beach. She's jumping. She looks happy. She's probably better off not with Joe. Merry Christmas, the model captioned the pic, which was snapped at sunset. A confused follower wrote in the comments, warrants Amber Alerts, yet posting on Instagram? Nobody else hear the news? Joe Francis, my daughters are missing. So somebody is saying if they're actually missing, then why is she posting? In recent months, the single mom has been open about her struggles trying to co-parent with Francis. Her claims align with the allegations which have been made in her statements. In November, she claimed that she and her daughters are essentially trapped in Mexico. Athena and Alexandra, these are the Joe Francis daughters. Athena and Alexandra were born back in 2014 near Puerto Vallarta, since their father has a famous oceanside estate there. Now, Wilson, that's the ex, claims the girls are, quote, not allowed to travel outside of Mexico or live in the United States, but she did not provide a reason for this. She says, we live in fear on a daily basis. My ex has not provided financial support in over a year. He does not help with their education, their medical bills, their housing, their food, or anything, Wilson alleged in a lengthy Instagram post. He stole our home, all of our clothes, and all of our personal belongings. He stole our car from my parking garage and has made it clear that I am not safe in Mexico. This is a weird story. I have faith that the Mexican government, judges, and various hardworking people overseeing our case will do everything right, she continued. No one should ever have to go through this. I will be going public with my story soon and sharing what I am legally allowed to share to protect myself and my children. A few days later, Wilson linked text messages allegedly sent between her and Francis, in which the film producer, really? We're calling Joe Francis a film producer now, in which the film producer accused her of kidnapping their daughters a year ago, but allegedly said, and this is Joe Francis in a text message, I don't care anymore. I'm going to have kids with another girl. You're on your own, Francis allegedly added. Deal with it. All right, so he's all upset that he doesn't get to have Christmas with his kids, so much so that he, starts claiming that his kids have been kidnapped and all of this kind of stuff. This was just on Christmas. He was all upset. But then a couple of days later, which would be like, yesterday? In a text message, he's now texting with her. He says, I don't care anymore. I'm going to have kids with another girl. You're on your own now. Deal with it. All right. Here's the actual text conversation. All right. So the ex-girlfriend says, so if you would like to help with your children's education, their education can remain the same. Otherwise, I have no option but to transfer them to a different school. Joe Francis replies, I'm not paying for anybody I don't see. The dad thing, right? Well, I don't see them. I don't pay. No, you still made them. It doesn't matter that you don't see them. You still created these kids. You got to pay for them. Stop it. You not seeing them, that's a you thing. You can see them. You're worth $25 million. You have a home in Mexico. You can travel there. You can see them all you want. You're just choosing not to because what? It's inconvenient? Oh, shut up and pay the woman. I'm not paying for anybody I don't see. Why would I pay for them? I don't even know them. You kidnapped them over a year ago, Joe Francis says. He goes on to say, it's your problem. I don't care anymore. I'm going to have new kids with another girl. You're on your own, Abby. Deal with it. Okay, quite a guy. And now I'm looking at a picture of her, the happy couple in finer days, I guess. And God, he is such a creep. He just looks like such a creep. And she's a pretty blonde woman. That's what I would say. She was the Girls Gone Wild winner of the sexiest woman in America. And yeah, no, she's not. She's not even close. She's not even the sexiest woman at the mall. I mean, she's a pretty girl. She's a thin blonde woman with blue eyes. And that's about it. She's got a bit of a Reese Witherspoon sort of look about her, I would say. What the hell? Here, I'll show you the picture. Why not? Why not? Who cares? I don't care. Let's see here. All right. Show you the happy couple. Purple rain. Now I got Purple Rain stuck in my head. Purple rain. All right. All right. All right, there we go. We'll just go to that. All right, so this is her. This is the woman that we're talking about. This is the Girls Gone Wild winner for what? Sexiest woman on the planet. There you go. All right, no thanks. There you go. And she's beautiful, right? That's a beautiful girl. And I don't know that she's the sexiest woman on the planet. She looks fine. So there they are. Although again, this is we know that he's a dirtbag. He's like a legendary dirtbag. So he's already got a whole bunch of boxes checked in that column. But her also, I'm just going. First of all, the biggest strike against her is that she's someone that would reproduce with Joe Francis. Okay, that right there is like, ugh. Oh, easy for you to say, Pugs. Yeah, well, no, you know what? I've known some absolutely awful men who have gotten some just fabulous women who went way down in my list of fabulosity after they decided that they were going to be with these men. Seriously, the company you keep, ladies. Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of, what? Nice guys are fat and lazy. I guess that's what it is. I guess you want a guy that's hot and you don't really care so much about the other stuff, just as long as they're hot and have money. I don't understand. I don't understand the appeal of Joe Francis other than his money. I mean, he's just such a creeper. All right, what else is trending today? We've gone through John Madden, Harry Reid, Austin, Joe Francis. How about the Book of Boba Fett? That's right. It's another Star Wars thing. I guess this debuted on Disney Plus last night, episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. If you're somebody like me who grew up with the original 3 Star Wars movies back in the 70s and the 80s, you probably have an affinity for Boba Fett, the mysterious bounty hunter who we didn't get to learn all that much about back then, but boy, oh boy, was he an intriguing character. Well, now they're going to flesh him out a little bit. There is a whole new series that's on Disney. The first episode debuted last night, I want to say. The Book of Boba Fett. It tells the story of how Boba Fett became kind of a mob boss. This seems to be like it has shades of like a mob movie where he runs to some planet and he takes over the mob scene there or whatever. Book of Boba Fett. I'm interested in seeing it. I love The Mandalorian as far as these Disney series go. That's the only one I've seen. Book of Boba Fett looks very interesting to me. But again, I have to wait like 10 weeks now because I refuse to just watch one episode for a half. They're 30 minutes. They're like 35-minute episodes. I refuse to watch one 35-minute episode and then have to wait like another week to see. So I will wait 10 weeks and then I will binge all of the Book of Boba Fett's, but that's trending as well. Napster is trending. Do you guys remember Napster? Are you old enough to remember what Napster was? Napster was the first file sharing. It was the first way that we were able to steal music back in the late 80s or late 90s, I mean. Oops, excuse me. So Napster was a way for you to pull music off the internet for free and play it on, your little digital devices. The early, what were they? I guess iPods. Maybe you had a Zune. Maybe what were MP3 players? There were all kinds of them. And Napster was a huge thing, man. That was like, boy, everybody was using Napster, I remember. So Napster. And then the music industry got all pissed off at Napster and like, you can't give away for free. We're going to create our own new kind of economy and we're going to build out our own sites and you're going to pay monthly fees and then you can download everything for free. So Napster kind of went away and they got passed up by, Apple Music or Spotify or whatever it is any of all the music sharing platforms that you now use that typically have a monthly subscription attached to it. So I thought Napster was gone. I really did. I guess somebody would have bought the name just to have the brand because it is a brand name that, but again, I don't think my son, who's 12 years old, I don't think he knows what Napster is. I don't think he has any idea at all, but Napster is trending. Why? Well, because Napster is still a real thing. It is a music sharing service. No idea what it looks like, but it's still around. And somebody in the music business, T-Pain. Oh, sure. T-Pain. There you go. T-Pain shared this tweet this morning and it has gone viral. And this is why Napster is trending. He posted a list of the streaming platforms that are all out there playing his music and other people's music. And then he had a second column that simply says streams to make $1. So I'll give you an example. So Amazon Music is the first one that is listed. With Amazon Music, if you are an artist who created this music, you have to have your music streamed 249 times before you as the artist make $1. So Amazon Music, 249 times before the artist makes $1. Apple Music, it's got to stream 128 times before the artist makes $1. Tidal Music, 78 times before you make $1. Deezer, 156 times before the artist makes $1. Pandora, 752 times before the artist makes $1. And YouTube Music, 1,250 times before the artist makes $1. And then Spotify, 315 streams before the artists make $1. Now, why is Napster trending? Because Napster is only 53 streams before the artist makes $1. So here you have something that was destroyed by the artists and the record companies who basically took down Napster because they didn't want all the stuff going away for free. And now we're 20 years down the road in Napster, of all of the streaming music services, Napster pays their artists the best. For every 53 streams, you get $1 on Napster. Spotify, it's 315 streams before you get $1. Amazon Music is 249. Apple is 128. YouTube Music is 1,250. So that's why Napster is trending today. Napster, it's being rediscovered. People are like, oh, yeah, that's where the people get the most, artists get the most money from Napster. So there you go. All right, what else do we have? Hong Kong is trending. I don't really want to get into this, but basically what's happening here is Hong Kong. Imagine being 30 years old in Hong Kong. You've spent your entire life in what was essentially a free and open Western democracy, and then suddenly the Chinese take over, and now you're getting into your prime, and the whole country has changed. Now you can't do it. Well, maybe we're experiencing that to some degree here in the United States. I don't know, but in Hong Kong, Hong Kong, basically they raided all of the news outlets in Hong Kong. The Chinese government went in with their stormtroopers and arrested all of these journalists and all of these people who work for what they deem pro-democracy news sites. And they've all been arrested in raids that happened last night there in Hong Kong. All right, so Hong Kong. I mean, just imagine that. Hong Kong was like this. It was like Japan. It was modern, and they had cool ass tech, and they had big business, and they had money, and it was just a really happening part of the world, close to China, which was, communist and lockdown and all that stuff. But, Hong Kong, it was right there off the shore. People are having fun. They got gambling casinos. People are traveling to Hong Kong. And then suddenly, nope, all over with. Now suddenly you're like China again. So that's happening in Hong Kong. Free Hong Kong, I believe, is what a lot of NBA players are all about. Actually, not a lot of NBA players. Just Enes Kanter freedom. I think he's the only one that's still doing it. And I'm using Enes Kanter's new last name. He became an American citizen and legally changed his name to Enes Kanter Freedom. John Boy Walton is trending, and I don't know why. I have no idea why John Boy Walton is trending. What a strange random name to be trending, John Boy. So I click on it and I start reading all of this stuff. There doesn't seem to be any real reason. There doesn't seem to be any that I can tell why Richard Thomas, the actor who plays John Boy. Okay, I guess it's just a day to appreciate Richard Thomas, the actor who played John Boy Walton on The Waltons. Boy, that's a forgotten show. When I was really little, that was like a major American show. Everything was all about the Waltons. And then it just completely went away. And now here we are like 40, 45 years later. Nobody remembers the Waltons. My kid doesn't know anything about the Waltons. But John Boy trends on this day, the 29th of December, 2021. Let's see here. Shaved heads. Shaved heads are trending. Why? Why, Pugs? Why are shaved heads trending? Well, I've got a shaved head. I like my shaved head. It's twofold. Because somebody yesterday tweeted, and it went viral, that all men with receding hairlines need to just shave it all off, which is something that I've been embracing for about 20 years now. Totally get that. Why on earth would a man in this day and age, I mean, you see people, like you see like 25-year-old hipsters, and it's like the look of the modern 25-year-old hipster is, let's say, 1983 driver's ed teacher. I mean, it's like members only jacket, weird haircut, short, maybe sideburns, and a big bushy mustache, and then glasses. Basically like a child sex offender from the 80s is what hipsters have now embraced as their look. And I made this statement the other day to E. We were at Dave & Buster's, and the bartender was a hipster he looked like a guy from 1983, like a nerdy guy from 1983, but he also had a full sleeve of tats. So, balancing it, being cool and being weird all at the same time. And I said to E, I go, that dude's got got a big forehead. That guy is probably in his early 20s, and he's going to be bald in a couple of years. Do you think the hipster look will then embrace the old toilet bowl look? Remember where people, so like male pattern baldness, right? It's like where you lose all your hair here. See, like you can see it here. You can see how I got a little bit of, I got to shave this off. That's hair coming in, but hair doesn't grow here, right? But if I just let it all grow, I would have bushy hair here and then like nothing here. The toilet bowl look. I'm trying to think of who. It was the way every bald guy looked until the mid 90s, when we all went, hey, Michael Jordan looks good with a shaved head. And then we all decided to shave our heads. Is that look going to come back? Will the hipster embrace that look? The wire-rimmed glasses, the bushy mustache, the members only jacket, and will the hipster of the year 2022, will they allow the toilet bowl look to come back? I don't know. I think crazier things have happened. I never thought the mustache was going to come back. I thought the mustache was originally brought back ironically, but now apparently, no, there aren't that many people who are steeped in irony. There are just not that many people out there who get it. So mustaches are now back full force. And mustaches without the beard, it's like there was like 10, 15 years where people who wanted to have mustaches also had a goatee. And now the goatee, if you still have a goatee, now you look like somebody who is so out of time with fashion, or you either have the full lumberjack beard or you're completely clean shaven with just a mustache, right? The beard is shaved, just a mustache. I'm obsessed with these trends. I'm no longer viable on the open market as a male specimen, but I'm still interested in the way that the new guys who are coming up, who are out there in the bars working girls, I'm interested in what it is that they're looking and what they're doing and what their choices are. Again, they don't appeal to me. I'm out of that game, but still, I'm wondering if maybe the toilet bowl look is going to come back. So why is shaved heads trending? Because somebody went viral yesterday saying that all men should need to just go ahead. They need to stop with the baseball caps, and they need to stop with the comb overs and all that kind of stuff. Just shave the entire head. So that's one part of why shaved heads is trending today. The other is because apparently Demi Lovato shaved her head. Demi Lovato shaved her head, and this is apparently now going to be a female fashion trend where, when it was Sinead O'Connor doing it back in the 80s, that was a whoa, my God, that shocked the world. Why? She's so pretty. Why would she shave her head? Well, that's why she shaved her head. She didn't want to be marketed as a Madonna type. Sinead O'Connor didn't want her record company, because she was beautiful. Sinead O'Connor was a pretty girl. She had these, oh my God, these amazing blue eyes, pretty, she was a pretty girl. And she saw a bunch of publicity photos that they were going to use to promote her album. And she looked at the publicity photos and then immediately went into the bathroom and shaved her head completely. So the shaved head with Sinead O'Connor was a response to being sexualized by the record company. She said, fine. She's like, this is what I'm going to look like now. Sexualize this. But women are doing that now as a fashion statement. Demi Lovato did it. Now, she didn't shave her head completely, not like me with a straight razor, but it's buzz cut all the way down to it's just like a shadow. And then there were a bunch of other, someone named Sawati. I don't know who Sawati is, but apparently she's someone in the hip hop world. I don't know if she is the girlfriend of a hip hop guy. I don't know if she's an Instagram model, but she shaved her head. Demi Lovato shaved her head. So ladies, get those straight razors out. You need tips. I know how to shave a head nice. I can do it. I don't need mirrors or anything. You ever want any tips? You just give me a call. I'll come over. I'll shave your head. Shaved heads are trending today. Also trending today. Oh, we can get into this. Yeah. All right. Trending today, best of 2021. So these are all of the things that were best in this year in 2021. I wanted to do movies here. I wanted to go through this list of like what are being deemed as the best movies of 2021. However, it starts out, it's one of these, it's hard for me to control this page. It starts out with 40. I don't want to go through all 40 of them because there's no reason. I'll just read off a couple. We'll just read them as we go quickly here. F9 comes in at number 40. So that just tells me that there weren't 39 good movies made this year. F9, that's the Fast and the Furious Part 9, comes in at number 40. Then the Sparks Brothers, which is a documentary. In the Heights, which I don't know. I think that's a Broadway musical. Number 37. This was a good movie. I enjoyed this. Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk. Do you remember this movie? Bob Odenkirk. It's very John Wick-like. Bob Odenkirk plays this middle-class family man, boring-ass life. And it turns out that he had a previous life. He had a... hold on, I got to do something. The dog is going nuts out on the porch, and I don't know if it's because somebody's here. Let the dog in, dude. When the dog starts barking like that, you got to let her in. Open the door, please. No, okay. All right, you're good. We're good, dude. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Get in here. And she's got to stay in there with you. She's got to stay... Please take her in there with you. Oh, my kid is loving this. Please take her in there with you. Mason. All right. I almost just lost my shit on my kid. Look at that. I just almost on a live stream with all you wonderful people watching. I almost just lost my shit on my kid. What, now you can't get the door open?
When are you going to fix the doorknob?
No, the doorknob on the bedroom is... Stop it. Seriously, you can't open the door. All right, folks, I apologize. We'll be right back.
Move. Go. Well, it's stripped. There we go.
Oh, it's fine. You're in there. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. All right. So Nobody, number 37 here in the best movies of the year. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Bob Odenkirk plays like a guy who was a former super spy who is now retired, and he's doing like, he's selling insurance, and he's got a wife and kids, but then he gets dragged back into his old world, very like John Wick, I don't want to do this. And then everybody's like, wait a second, who are you? And I'm nobody. That was the whole thing. Tom Beller says a 12-year-old cannot do anything by themselves today. Where were that needy back in? Yeah, we were that needy back in the day, Tom. We were definitely. Tom, do you still have a goatee? Tom Beller says, thanks, Pugs. Still have a goatee. Just get rid of the goatee. You got to go with the full beard. Dude, you would look so good with a full beard. You would. Goatee. Don't wear a goatee. All right, so we're going through this list because best of 2021 is trending, and these are the best movies of 2021. All right, well, it's one of these things where you gotta scroll all the way down because it starts with 40. And even though I had it all queued up before the show, I don't know, maybe the page refreshed and it went right back to the beginning. All right, so we'll start with 20. We'll go run through these quickly because we got the 20. All right, number 20, best film of the year 2021 is something called Titane. No idea what that is. It looks like it's a foreign film. Why it's great? Let's just say this Palme d'Or winning film. Yeah, see, Palme d'Or. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. That means it's foreign. I'm not interested. Number 19, The Last Duel. Anybody see this? This is the Ridley Scott, Adam Driver, and Matt Damon movie, like about medieval knights, stuff like this. This comes in at number 19. This is a terrible year for movies. It really is. Because I can tell you, the two best movies that I've seen that were actually made this year didn't even make this list. And I'll tell you what they were when we finish up this. Number 18, The Card Counter. Okay, so I saw The Card Counter. This is Oscar Isaac. It's a Paul Schrader film. The Card Counter is about a guy who was a torturer in Guantanamo. You know, he was in the military and he tortured people, and that's his past. And now he is he went to jail for that. Remember the prison Abu Ghraib in Guantanamo, where they were apparently being abusive to these prisoners. Whatever, a bunch of people went to jail. Nobody high up went to jail, but the rank and file guys, they went to, the guys who were following the orders of how to torture these people. They all went to jail because that's what happens in America. Nobody with brass on their shoulder gets to be responsible for anything. It's always just the behavior of the grunts. So he plays a guy who goes to jail after being convicted of torturing and being cruel to prisoners at Guantanamo Bay. And in jail, he learns how to count cards. And now here it is, like 20 years later, and he's out there. He is a professional card counter. Oscar Isaac. He played Poe from the Star Wars movies, if you're so inclined. The dad, the king, emperor, whatever, from Dune. Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac is great, man. He's such a cool actor. I love him. Card Counter was a good movie. Tiffany Haddish is in it. Willem Dafoe is in it. Card Counter. That's a good one from 2021 that maybe you didn't hear about that you could go watch. It's good. I enjoyed it. Number 17 is something called The Souvenir. No idea what that's about. Number 16 is something called The Green Knight. No idea what that's about. 15 is Dune. In this year where there were like no truly great films, this list from Thrillist has Dune as the 15th best movie of 2021. Dune was tremendous. Dune was excellent. How Dune couldn't be in the top 5 of all films made in 2021 is absolutely astounding to me. Dune was great. All right, so that comes in at 15. What do we got? 14, something called Test Pattern. I have no idea. I'm looking at who's in it. Never heard of any of the actors in Test Pattern. 13, Spencer. Now, I haven't seen this, but I want to see this. This is the Kristen Stewart movie where she plays Lady Diana Spencer or Princess Diana, whatever the hell we're calling it. I don't know. Spencer is what it's about. She got great reviews, I thought. I thought people were really digging this movie. Comes in at 13 on the 2021 best films of the year. Number 12, something called Saint Maude. I don't know. I don't know what this is. And I don't know anybody in this movie either. It says here why it's great. Haunted by a horrific incident in her past, Maude, a young woman who works as a palliative care nurse for the elderly and infirmed, has converted to Roman Catholicism and believes that she hears the voice of God coursing through her whenever she's done something she feels he's pleased with. All right, whatever. Doesn't really sound like The Lost Daughter. Okay, that's The Lost Daughter. That's another movie. That's rated as number 11. All right, so here are the top 10 movies according to. This is madness. Number 10 is the Christian Wig movie Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. Better than Dune? Are you kidding? Better than The Card Counter? Are you kidding? Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. I think that my mother had the best review of Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar when she said, that is the stupidest movie I've ever seen. And yet, here we are. Somehow, it makes number 10 on the list of best movies of 2021. Barb and Star, a totally forgettable, dumbass comedy. Number 9, Drive My Car. Okay, this looks to be a Korean film. Okay, now we're going to get into all of the great cultural stuff that the Koreans are doing. Another Korean movie. Number 8, West Side Story. I have no. This is Spielberg's new movie. I don't know when it was released. I guess it's been out a couple of weeks now. I can't tell you how little interest I have in seeing Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Oh, I don't like musicals. I get as close. Prince. I watched Purple Rain last night. That's as close to a musical as I'm willing to get. That is no, thank you. You know what? I might watch this West Side Story the way I watched A Star Is Born. The Lady Gaga Star Is Born movie. Wasn't interested in seeing A Star Is Born. But I was with a very nice lady who wanted to watch it, and so we sat on her couch and we watched A Star Is Born. Maybe that's how I will see West Side Story at some point. Maybe at some point I'll be with a girl who wants to see it, and I'm not an ogre. I will share what it is that we watch on TV. You get one, I get one, you get one, I get. That seems only fair. In that situation, I may find myself watching West Side Story, but only in that situation. Not interested. Number 7 is a movie called Annette. This is another weird one. It's like some weird French movie. Adam Driver, Marion Cotillard. Star in it. This movie, when it came out like a few months ago. I was looking at it and I'm like, should I watch this? And I went, nope. And here's why. Why it's great. Annette is certainly one of the strangest movies you'll see all year. It's a rock musical composed by the band Sparks and directed by Leo Carax about an opera star who falls in love with and marries a stand-up comedian. I don't. There's way too much going on in that description. I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Number 6 on Best of 21, which is trending. Number 6. This is the only movie that I'm really. No, that's not true. There's another one too that I really want to see. But Red Rocket comes in at number 6. Red Rocket is blowing people away. Now this is a legit. They're talking about this is going to be the one that's going to sneak into the Oscars, and everybody's going to be talking about. It stars Simon Rex. Do you remember Simon Rex from MTV back in the 90s? Simon Rex was an MTV VJ who lost his gig on MTV because there was a scandal that came up that he had done some porn films. So back in the late 90s, MTV couldn't handle that. So Simon Rex was very popular. He was like second only Carson Daly as far as like the popular people on MTV. So he was fired from MTV, and then his career went nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Until now. Now he is back starring in this movie called Red Rocket that is supposed to be just tremendous. And interestingly enough, he plays in Red Rocket a former porn actor who comes back to his South Texas Gulf Coast home and tries to just sort of reingratiate himself into the neighborhood. Here's what it says. Okay, so why is Red Rocket worth seeing? Director Sean Baker follows up the Florida Project with another, almost more relentlessly uncomfortable look at an unglamorous, unvarnished corner of America. Red Rocket stars Simon Rex, who you might know as one-time MTV VJ, as Mickey Saber, a porn star who returns to his hometown of Texas City on the Gulf Coast in the summer of 2016. He's bruised and beaten and has some crazy story about MS-13 and asks his estranged wife, also a former porn star, if he can crash with her and her mother. While in town, he starts dealing weed and pursuing a not quite 18-year-old girl who goes by Strawberry. All right, so the trailer for it looks amazing. It really does. It looks great. So Red Rocket, I can't wait to see Red Rocket. People are saying that we're going to be hearing a lot about this movie. And here we are, number 5. This is the other movie that I can't wait to see. Licorice Pizza. I am a Paul Thomas Anderson freak. I love Paul Thomas Anderson, whether it's Boogie Nights, can't forget about Magno. Paul Thomas Anderson makes absolutely beautiful films that are not just beautiful and that get you stimulated because of, the way he shoots them or the way just a gorgeous filmmaker, but also incredible dialogue. Just the stories are always just weird enough to keep you hooked in, but not so weird that you lose total interest in it. Licorice Pizza is his newest movie. It came out in November. I'm waiting for it to debut on one of these platforms because I need to see Licorice Pizza. Licorice Pizza is about, it's a fictional story of a young man who is trying to become a movie star. And the young man, by the way, is played by Cooper Hoffman, who is Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. Now, why is this cool and why is this interesting? Because Philip Seymour Hoffman was Paul Thomas Anderson's go-to guy. When Paul Thomas Anderson made a movie, he always had Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. And some of Philip Seymour Hoffman's greatest performances came in Paul Thomas Anderson films. And Philip Seymour Hoffman died, sadly. And now here it is. Now his son is getting a lead role in the new Paul Thomas Anderson film. He plays a young man trying to become an actor, and it weaves this fictional story of this young man trying to become an actor with real life people. Like Bradley Cooper is in it. He plays, who's he play? Peter, is it Peter Gruber? Somebody, I don't know, some guy who was a big producer in the 1970s or 80s. Hold on. Hey, what are you doing in there? She's biting? Sounds like she's playing. Then kick her out of the room. It sounds like the dog is mauling. John Peters, thank you, Jennifer Blair Martin. All right, let's keep moving. Sorry, I'm distracted. I got my kid this week. Number 4 on the list of the best movies of 2021 is something called Zola. I don't know why. I don't know what this is. Taylor Page, Riley Keough. Hey, Riley Keough. That's Elvis's granddaughter, man. Riley Keough is in this. Or wait, is Riley a guy? No, I'm not sure if Riley's a boy or a girl. Hold on. So you got to figure this out. I don't want to go on a whole that's Elvis's granddaughter thing and then be wrong. Riley Keough, Elvis Presley. All right, let's see what happens here.
According to Wikipedia, Danielle Riley Keough is an American actress.
She is the granddaughter of Priscilla Presley and singer Elvis Presley. Okay, yeah, Elvis's granddaughter. All right, so she's in that. She's pretty. Well, of course she's pretty. Elvis was a good-looking man, and Priscilla Presley was a smoke show. So, yeah, he's got good genes from the grandparents, at least. All right, so we don't need to see that. I'm not interested in that. Zola, I don't know. It looks like some teen girl drama or something. Why it's great. Inspired by a viral Twitter thread. I'm out. Never mind. That's all I need to hear. I don't need to see any more of that. Third best film of 2021. Something called The Worst Person in the World. Okay. Don't need that. Number 2. This is interesting. I've seen this movie, and I don't know how it's the number 2 best movie of 2021. Pig. Stars Nicolas Cage. It's boring. It is very boring. It is. Okay, so here, why it's great. In a small cabin somewhere in the austere wilderness of the Pacific Northwest lives a shaggy-haired, monosyllabic man, Nicolas Cage, and his smush-faced, red-furred truffle hunter pig, Brandy. He talks to his pig, he cooks meals for his pig, and he forages with his pig for truffles, the rare, delicious subterranean mushrooms he sells to a prickly upstart truffle distributor who pulls up onto his property in his yellow Camaro once a week. One evening, the man's pig is stolen by a violent gang, and he vows to do... This is not John Wick. It's starting to sound like a John Wick kind of thing. I thought Pig was boring, but I don't know. These people say it's the second best film of the year. I was bored. Number 1, best film of the year, according to this best list, best of 21 trending, The Power of the Dog. Now, this is something that's been on Netflix for about a month now, and I've been looking at it. Stars Jesse Plemons, who is awesome. Jesse Plemons, of all the people from Friday Night Lights, Jesse Plemons was not the one that I thought would go on and have this like really terrific acting career. He played Landry in Friday Night Lights, but holy cow, man, Jesse Plemons has been amazing in everything. So for that reason, I would see this. This is the Netflix film, The Power of the Dog. It is considered the number 1 best film of the year 2021. All right. I got nothing else. Let me see here. We're gonna end the show. Yeah, Ross, this list should be the worst list of 2020. Maybe there just weren't that many good movies. I'll tell you what, I just saw Don't Look Up, which is the new Adam McKay movie. about an asteroid that is heading towards Earth, and the president of the United States doesn't want to have anything to do with it. doesn't want to deal with it. Oh, sorry about that. Don't Look Up, which is now on maybe Amazon. I don't know, Amazon or Netflix. I'm not sure. Adam McKay, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Jonah Hill. Who else? I thought Don't Look Up was really good. And also Being the Ricardos. Being the Ricardos was just released last week, maybe the week before. That movie is fantastic. I don't understand how that doesn't make this list. I didn't see it anywhere on the 40 best films of 2021. But Pig, you have it number 2? I don't know, folks. All right, that's going to do it. We're going to wrap up today's show. Once again, we have put upon dry dock the Pillow Talk shows for the next couple of days, just as long as I have my kid, because we like to do things at night. I'm sorry. You can see it's not enough of a distraction trying to do this thing here at noon. He's in there fighting with the dog. It's just... Thank you all. Yeah, Tom, no Spider-Man. Albert says Don't Look Up was awesome. I thought it was great. Yes, boring, Albert. I think you're agreeing with me on Pig. I thought Pig was so slow and so boring. I wanted to get all John Wick. That was the promise. They took his pig. He wants his pig back. All right, folks, thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow at high noon for another edition of this. High noon. Is there anything else that's new? You know what? Hold on before I sign off, because we do have like a minute or so here. Let me just see if anything new has popped up in the last 2 hours that I need to quickly comment on. Let me see here. All right. A lot of bowl game stuff. And also happy birthday, Taehyung. Yeah, it's another birthday for somebody in BTS. Apparently there's like 50 people in BTS. And they celebrate multiple birthdays because every single day it seems like there's another Korean boy band birthday we're celebrating. Kyle Seager is trending. Major League Baseball. Kyle Seager. Seattle Mariners third baseman Kyle Seager announces his retirement from Major League Baseball after an 11-year career. All right. All right, we don't need to deal with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Penn Station is trending. Why is Penn Station? Congressman Tom Schwozy holding a press conference at Penn Station talking about the increasing crime. All right, we don't care about that. Pinstripe Bowl. Chris Tucker is trending. Ice Cube reveals why Chris Tucker turned down $12 million to come back for next Friday. I don't care. Keith Olbermann is trending. Who cares about him? Michelle Obama. Joe Rogan says that Michelle Obama could beat Trump. So now Michelle Obama is trending. I don't want Michelle Obama to run for anything. Thank you very much. Dr. Drew is trending. Who knows what he's getting into? Tornado watch. There's a tornado watch in Southwest Tennessee. Yeah, that's it. All right, we're done. There's really nothing else happening. Nothing big. Another day. The best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. If I was producing this up, that's where I put. And then here you go. Whoa, you get it. All right, thanks, folks. We'll be back tomorrow at noon, another high noon edition of Pugs and Company. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me each and every day. I really do. I look forward to it. The best part of my day. Now I got to go figure out why the kid and the dog are fighting. Bye, everybody. From the comfort nest, I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.